Morning, all. All right, so we've got 3 games tonight in the NHL. So it's a combination of a news video and the preview. For the preview portion, I'm also going to throw out there to anybody in Calgary who might be going to tonight's game. It is at 8 o'clock for you guys, and it's possible it could be later since this is being carried as a doubleheader on TNT in the US. So these games will normally start. Puck drop's normally about 10 minutes later than it would be. So just throwing that out, it could be a little bit later than that too. So 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between the Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Senators. This is the first of 4 meetings. They'll meet again January 28th, January 31st, as well as February the 25th. For the Montreal Canadiens, they're 14, 12, and 2 on the season. Suzuki leading them in scoring with 14 goals, 15 assists for 29 points. Caden Gooley has been very good on the blue line. A goal, 10 assists, 11 points. On the Ottawa front, they're 12, 14, and 2, and they're looking to get back to 500 as soon as possible here. DeBrincat, 9 goals, 15 assists, 24 points. Seems to be getting the goal scoring going, and they're going to need that tonight. Shabbat, 6 goals, 10 assists, 16 points. Absolutely excellent defenseman. Can do a little bit of everything out there. And with Shabbat and Sanderson, they have 2 defensemen that they can count on for a long time to come. Then at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, we have a start between the Detroit Red Wings and the Minnesota Wild. So Detroit coming off of a shutout loss yesterday against Carolina. They're now 13, 9, and 6. On October 29th in Detroit, they did beat Minnesota 2-1, so we'll see if they could do it again. For Detroit, Raymond, 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points. He had chances last night, just wasn't happening. Same with Sider, 2 goals, 10 assists, 12 points. Both of them, of course, really prominent rookies last year. Easy to kind of overlook them as young stars right now with just how many young stars are in headlines and being talked about, but they're still 2 excellent young players. Minnesota, 15, 11, and 2. Kaprizov, 17 goals, 18 assists, 35 points. Addison, 2 goals, 13 assists, 15 points on the blue line. Kaprizov's an absolute superstar. I'm wearing Minnesota because I really don't see this one being a loss for them as they've been getting things really rolling. And we'll see if that can continue tonight. Then at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, or 8 o'clock Mountain. So the Vancouver Canucks in against Calgary for the first of 4 meetings between these 2 teams. December 31st, they'll meet again. That one's in Calgary as well. And then the 2 Vancouver games are March 31st and April 8th, because sure, why not? So for Vancouver, they're 12, 13, and 3. They're trying to get past this problem they have with getting above 500. Pettersson, 13 goals, 21 assists, 34 points. Absolutely front and center of anything going on good with the Canucks right now. Quinn Hughes in 24 games has 25 assists. Sure, we'd like to have a goal or 2, but an assist per game, that's pretty good. That's not too shabby. On the Calgary front, they're 13, 11, and 5, and they want to be doing better than they are right now as well. Huberdeau, 5 goals, 13 assists, 18 points. Has started to pick it up lately. His production has gotten better. And Rasmus Andersson's been good all season. 4 goals, 16 assists, 20 points. Keep in mind, these teams usually don't like each other very much. And so we might see the odd fight or 2, especially since Vancouver leads the NHL in fighting majors, which Bruce Boudreau joked, yeah, but we don't win any kind of thing, as I'm paraphrasing. But that was basically the insinuation there, was that they get the fights. They just don't win them. All right. Now, into the news of the day for all you fine people. Tim Stützle is out at least a week with a shoulder strain, so that's good news to the Habs, who are trying to beat them tonight, as well as the fact that Tyler Mott is week to week. So they both got hurt in the same game. The good news with Stützle is it was feared to be a lot worse. So it was seen to be a potential major injury, and now it turns out that he's probably going to be okay in roughly a week's time, maybe 2. But that's the best news you can get in that situation. Almost as good as Caulfield's going to play tonight for Montreal. So that's good news too, because Caulfield looked like could be out for a while too. Of course, last night, unless you're living under a rock, you probably heard that Ovechkin, and no judgment to people living under rocks. It's got to be quite the life. But 800 goals for Ovechkin. So he's 1 behind Gordie Howe. He's 94 behind Gretzky. And it took him 162 games, almost 2 seasons worth of games, to go from 700 to 800. So even if he slows down, he's going to get to the record. So yeah, for Ovechkin, 94 behind Gretzky. I will do another Ovechkin video, but I want to do it different. I've already done a video where, yeah, he's going to catch Gretzky. That video to me is still valid. I still feel the same way that I did when I made that video. So yeah, we'll see how long it takes him to get to the record and how long it takes him to pass Howe. But it was like last night. I don't know. It just kind of felt like, oh, people are making fun because I'm getting empty net goals. Fine, I'll score on a goalie then. He can just score it well. It's a lot of seasons of him getting to at least 20 goals, and it's been an impressive run for him. Speaking of impressive runs, Mitch Marner's continued last night as well. It's now up to 23 games. So 32 points for him in that 23 game streak. One thing with Marner is he hasn't had like all kinds of 4 and 5 point games. He's just very steady. He's very consistent and reliable, and that's key for Marner and for the Leafs right now. And I don't think it's unrelated that he's got this 23 game streak, and over those 23 games, Toronto has an excellent record. So these two things have been going hand in hand, and right now Toronto playing some of the best hockey in the NHL. Absolutely. I know it was just Anaheim last night, but I mean it's still impressive, even though it is Anaheim and all that. And not to besmirch Anaheim, but they're a team that's at the bottom of the league. Toronto's not. They're a team near the top. It makes sense that one would beat the other. So yesterday, and I feel bad for Horvat at this point. So the rumors about him getting traded and what's going on, they're everywhere. And I've addressed it in videos, but if you'll notice, I'm not really putting it in the title either, and I'm not drawing attention. I'm not doing fantasy trades and what we want for Horvat. I want Horvat to stick around. And I think Horvat wants to play in Vancouver, but I don't get the feeling that he wants to give the team a big discount on the next contract because this is his chance to cash in, right? He's in his prime now. So if he takes a discount from Vancouver because they've messed up their finances elsewhere, I don't think that he has to do that. I don't think it's selfish for him not to want to do that if that's what's been going on. But it does feel like he's probably going to be on his way out. And I don't know if him addressing the rumors publicly will have any effect on any of that. But I feel bad for him because he's been a really good captain. He's been a good player for this team for a long time. And it's too bad. And he admitted too that the rumors are distracting for him and for his teammates, and that he's had to apologize to them for the fact that there's just it's all over. So I would imagine any Canuck right now being interviewed would be asked about his totals and their games, and then would be asked, so what about Horvat? Where do you think he's gonna go? Huh? Doesn't want to play with you guys, eh? That's terrible. So yeah, hopefully either of these rumors go away via the Canucks making them go away. They can do that through signing him or figuring out how to make all this work. But he addressed the rumors, and you can tell it's agitating for him. Keep in mind his scoring has dropped off a little bit over the last 10 games, and at some point in time, those rumors, those distractions can start to have an impact on the team. And it's already a team that's below 500 and struggling to stay in the race for a playoff spot. Last night was a big night for Craig Anderson. His 40 save shutout. Age 41, putting up a 40 save shutout. Years after his career was seen as being finished, Craig Anderson is nothing short of a marvel at this point. And he joins Johnny Bower. Johnny Bower twice over at the age of 41 or older got a 40 save shutout. Johnny Bower was an interesting one too, though, in that when he started playing in the NHL, nobody could really track down exactly how old he was. So when I see reports on, well, at this age, yeah, there was always rumors that he lied about his age and he was older than what the NHL's site actually had as his age, because he knew that if people knew his real age, that he wasn't going to be getting contracts anymore. So that was always the rumor, was that he lied about his age. So when I hear he did it at age 41, I assume they mean age 45, and he said he was 41. Johnny Bower is a very interesting character. Jeff Petry's been placed on the LTIR by the Pittsburgh Penguins. This means he's going to miss 24 days or 10 games, whichever comes first. And so we'll see how long Petry's out. It's retroactive to December 11th. The good news for Pittsburgh, of course, is that Letang was only out 12 days, so they're not looking at being without Letang and without Petry. The bad news is really that Petry over the last few weeks I thought was playing a lot better. I thought he was fitting in better with Pittsburgh than he had at the start of the season. So the timing of this is atrocious if you're Jeff Petry. And the hope then would be that as soon as he comes back off the LTIR, he doesn't skip a beat. And I mean, from here until then, we'll see how Pittsburgh's play goes and how they are defensively and all that other fun stuff. But yeah, he's on LTIR right now. And then for Vegas, they're looking at 2 big losses on the blue line. And last night, they allowed 5, so maybe that's part of it, right? Theodore's week to week, so without Shea Theodore, you're going to see your goals against go up. Very underrated defenseman at this point. I say that because I think a few years ago when the conversation was, when's he going to get a Norris? I thought maybe there was a little too much hype. Now I don't think there's enough. I think Pietrangelo gets more attention at this stage, and White Cloud is going to be out month to month for them as well. So those are 2 of their top 4 defensemen that are out. Eichel's seen as more day to day. Eichel shouldn't be out that long. And so, yeah, I guess we'll see how all that turns out. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.